Now, from the beginning of time, we have had a whole bunch of video games. Now, 2D games were very popular back in the late 80s, early 90s, especially with fighting games. Now, we have a mascot. That was the Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis, and we're gonna go through Sonic through the years of him being 2D all the way to 3D. Now, at one point, third dimension was a big thing. The Sega Saturn and the Sony PlayStation put this in advertisement very heavy to sell both of their consoles. Now, some of this footage you're going to see, it has Knuckles in it. You know, I just like Knuckles, and I think Knuckles is a real cool character. Now, I know the video is titled Sonic 2D to 3D, alright? Now, that's all I wanted to say. Now, for years now, video games have been divided into two categories, basically. You have 2D and 3D, well, earlier video games. Now, we still have 2D and 3D, but it's kind of like in a different realm or a different world, you know. And then you actually have like 2.5D games that I would like to say, like a game like Sonic 3D Blast. It's not quite 3D to me. It is 3D, but it's not 3D, you know. And so a real 3D game would actually be like a Sonic Adventures game compared to the Sonic 3D Blast. Most people would call Sonic 3D Blast a 3D game, an earlier 3D game, but they would actually call Sonic Adventure a true 3D game. Now, typically in 2D video games, you know, from an action standpoint, it's typically, you know, from side to side, you know, strolling a vertical up and down, or just basically like going through the world. Now, when I say going through the world, I mean going from left to right. I don't mean like going in a third dimension plane like most of the third dimension games. Like, you can go in the world. Like, if you look at a game like Zelda Breath of the Wild, you can walk left, right, you can go back, and you can go into the action, into the world. This is what I call a 3D game, right? Now, like I said, some of the earlier consoles, you know, such as, you know, the Sony PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, they, you know, sold their game typically on saying the 3D. You know, they were 3D consoles. Now, the Saturn was actually a good 2D machine. You know, it put a 3D, the stuff to make the games 3D later on into the lifespan or whatever, but it typically was a 2D machine. But when they found out Sony was making the PlayStation and it was going to be this 3D machine, they quick and hurry up, you know, and it probably wasn't sufficient as it could have been, but it had good 3D games actually. You know, the Sony PlayStation had a lot of good 3D games, but typically the Sega Saturn wasn't meant for 3D games. It was meant for 2D games. All right, with that said, now some of the games like you see, like I said, Sonic Adventures, that is a real 3D game. Now, guys, you know, like I said before, Sonic Adventure is probably the first true 3D game. And you know, this is on the Sega Dreamcast. It's a shame that the Sega Dreamcast came out when it came out. And as you can see, the 3D looks fantastic, you know. We're gonna go with Sonic here and gonna go to the game. Now, like I said before, earlier 3D games didn't have the depth that the 3D games later had. From about late 80s, early 90s, this right here was about $99.99. This was the launch title with the Sega Dreamcast. And I mean, this game was beautiful. I mean, you can tell right off the bat, the 3D was just, oh man. I mean, and the thing is with video games in the third dimension being what it was back in the day, it was kind of like having three-dimensional games as clear as you can get them. You know, earlier stuff like Resident Evil and some of that stuff was a pixelated, actually 3D games, you know what I'm saying? This 3D game right here was, you know, kid friendly. You could see everything was bright, everything was colorful, and as you can see, it literally was broken down into a third dimension. All right, now we're gonna see this game right here. We seen 2D Sonic from a plane going left to right, going back and front, up and down, and that's all you could pretty much do. With these games right here, you know, late 1999 into the new millennium, you had games like this, and the games would be in depth, and it would be more open world, and you can do way more stuff, okay? And thank y'all for coming to my channel, supporting me. It's your boy Centel, NBA Live Bowl 10, and I like for you guys to hit that like button, click that subscribe button, turn on all your bell notifications for all your retro gaming, plus NBA Live content and next gen content. Now, next gen is next gen, but it's almost current gen right now, guys. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna start calling it current gen soon, because it's next gen, but it's not next gen. It's actually kind of current gen too. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, we're gonna play a little Death 3D Sonic Adventures in 3D, and you see the chaos. You see how I can go in the back of the screen, and you see how this right here, and see I could go. I could go left, right, up. I gotta beat this guy right here. He's a puddle of water now. But look, as you can see, I can go left, right. See, I can go depth into the screen. You couldn't do that with earlier 3D games with Sonic, man. Sonic had some of the best gameplay on all the consoles, I think. So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in from Sonic 2D to 3D. I will be uploading more classic video games in the future. And like I said before, it's your boy, Sintel, NBA Live Bolton, and I'll be back at you with another video pretty soon. Later. Doggy dog. Shh.